Nate Bauer at Blue White Illustrated, excuse me, back here. Mike, for you, obviously this is a kind of a changing landscape of college basketball in terms of the role of NIL in the sport and recruiting and the transfer portal. To what degree do you consider that an important piece of the puzzle to arriving here and to joining this program? And then, Pat, for you, to what level do you consider it a priority in establishing that?
Well, it's so important, right? To some people, it's everything to build a program. We're going to balance all that, but we're going to be very aggressive, like I said, in our pursuit of all of that. We're going to recruit. We're going to recruit really hard. We're going to continue to build this program to compete at a level we all want to compete, and to do that, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of making great decisions. It's a lot of investing in what you're trying to do. And we're going to do that diligently and intelligently. But yeah, we're going to be really aggressive without it. I'm here because we want to do that, but we're going to do it the right way.
Yeah, it's the world we live in right now, right? And we got to be aggressive, and we got to do it on every level. I've said before, we have to have everything we do has to be at the highest level, and so it's the same with that, and it's a part of the recruiting world we live in.
Coach Andrew Lee Penwell, WTAJ and Nittany Nation in the back here. What can we expect stylistically from you on the court? What is your message to your team about the type of basketball that we'll be playing?
Better be in shape, number one. So we'll take care of that. We're going to play with great freedom. We're going to play with green light. We're going to have players that never aren't looking over their shoulder at the coach if something went down. I want them to play with great instinct. I want them to play that you can see that they're well trained in playing in our style. What's that style? We're going to be very aggressive, especially on defense. We want to create opportunities all the time with our defense. We're going to let guys loose, let them go make plays. These are great athletes, great basketball players. So what I don't want to do is slow them down and put them on their heels. I want to put them on their toes and make them go fight at a high level. Offensively, we're going to play fast, and we're going to be very aggressive. We're going to share the basketball like my teams always have done. There's a great joy in the way we play, and that's very, very important. And people always say, can you play this way? Can you play that way? We're going to play to put our guys in the best position to succeed. But we're going to do it with great joy and great energy and have a lot of fun doing it. Because I know when players are having fun in the style of play, they get better and better all the time. That's really important.
Mike, Daniel Gowan with Lions 24/7. Bringing in Joe Crispin to your staff, how important was it to you to get someone with that Penn State connection, and what do you think he will bring?
Well, with no doubt about it, his pride in Penn State is something else, and he loves this place, and his wife was a student athlete here as well. I mean, that is great, but beyond that, Joe knows basketball. He was a pro. He's a successful college coach. He and I have talked basketball, and we all see the game similar and how we want to do things. And him bleeding on this court and sweating on this court adds to it. And if he can give that to the guys that we're going to have in this program and share that, I mean, that's a home run. I'm super excited that, and he has the same mentality as our staff. We're going to outwork everybody, and we're going to have an edge in recruiting, and we're going to have an edge when we come out here to play anybody. He had that. We all saw that, and our staff has that. I have that. That's just who we are. And to get another guy on our staff to have that and knows this place and loves this place, that's a big deal for me.
Hey, Coach. Andrew Callista from Fox 43.
How you doing, Andrew?
Not too bad. You mentioned bold and being aggressive. With the style of play that you guys and your staff want to run in the portal era and on the recruiting trail, where do you balance getting the best player available to the best fit coming in here for Penn State?
Yeah, it's a balancing act all the time. Number one, it's their character, Andrew. We want to have guys with unbelievable character and competitive character. That goes a long way. But being bold, different, and aggressive with lots of skill, you could find that. And This is Penn State. Penn State has had unbelievable athletes, student athletes, for a long, long time. And those are the guys we're going to find and cultivate to play basketball at Penn State.
Evan Smith, Nittany Central and Shots Gotta Fall podcast. It's been a wild 3.5 years for Penn State basketball, a fourth coach in that time. Can you speak to some of the steps that you're going to take to provide some stability to the program, not just this year, but next year and moving forward?
Well, the level of commitment from our staff to our players is number one. That's the greatest thing that we could do with these guys is work them hard, but love them harder. Make it bigger than just showing up every day. That's really important. But we're committed, and this is what is great for me as the new coach here is the alignment of our president and our athletic department and our coaches to building this the way we need to. When we were talking about a plan and building it to last, not to get just hot. We're going to build this, and I'm committed to building this to last and to make it so successful that everybody wants to come here, not just to play basketball, but to watch us play and be a part of it. And you have to have a commitment from everybody. And this is Penn State, you're always going to do it the right way and with great class and dignity, but you could win big that way too, without a doubt, and we have a plan to do that.
Hey, Coach, Jared Phillips, ABC 27 in Harrisburg. I know coming back up here, I'm sure some memories flooded back in. You were a star at Lebanon Valley College. I was just wondering if maybe some of those good old days popped in your head when coming back here to Pennsylvania.
The shorts were a lot shorter, I'll tell you that. But my wife was a year behind me at Lebanon Valley, and we were flying up, and we just started shaking our head with smiles on our faces, like, can you believe this? And we've had a lot of that. We had a lot of tears this week. Sad tears of leaving a place we love, but happy tears of, man, this is going to be so much fun. And we could share our joy and our love with so many people around here. That's what we're excited about. Yeah, there are a lot of memories. I've got texts and calls from all my boys from Lebanon Valley that I played with and won a national championship with. And I had my best friend from home fell out a season ticket thing for his whole family. Like just so much cool stuff. All the coaches in Pennsylvania that I heard from in the last 24 hours. And, that's what it takes. It takes all of us to just be a little bit more in than a lot more in than totally in. And that's how you build something that becomes bigger than all of us.
John Sauber, Senate Daily Times. Could you both lay out the process on your respective ends of how this played out when you made contact and when the decision was finally made on both ends that this was the right move?
No. I'll answer this for him. We'll keep the search process to ourselves. I don't think that's fair to anybody involved in the search and what happened. That's more of a question for me than coach. I told you it's a very diligent process. You got to be very meticulous in a search. You got to work the phones, and you got to do a lot. And it takes a lot of time, but we're not going to get into the specifics of how the search went and all that.
Mike Rose from Lancaster. How you doing, buddy? Good. Lot of good basketball players in Philadelphia. How connected do you feel to recruiting there, and how much priority do you think it is as Penn State's coach to make a big hit in that area?
Hire a Martelli. How about that? I think recruiting, and I understand that question. There's certain areas that you want to recruit, but recruiting is relationships, and we have a staff that have lots and lots of relationships because they've been doing this for a long time at a high level, and so you build relationships over time that become friendships, and they have players or they have connections to recommend players to you based on your relationship and how you do your job and how you take care of kids. That's recruiting to me. We will live in Philadelphia. But there's a lot of other places we will live too. Now, I've always said this is Penn State University. Everybody knows that. This is a world-class university. And the relationships we have with people all over are going to have people excited about playing basketball here. I could assure you that. So, yes, everybody around here, we know everybody around here. We're going to recruit around here, but we're going to recruit and go get the kids that we want to see come here and win big.
Mike, Daniel Gown from Lions 24/7 again. To piggyback kind of off what John asked, when you hear from Penn State, as someone from here and in college basketball, what was kind of your first reaction? And following this program from afar, I know you guys intersected 2 years ago at the game here. What has kind of been your perception of Penn State, from afar?
Well, I've always loved Penn State from a kid there. It's Penn State. Come on, I'm 2 hours away. I grew up in Schuylkill County. I mean, last year, Jody and I sat out on our back porch and watched Penn State Iowa wrestling. I have a Penn State wrestling T-shirt. I have Penn State basketball T-shirts now. So that part of it. The conversation that Pat and I had was as real as you can get. Rhoades, what do you need to make this place great? And we have a plan, and we're going to pursue that plan, and we're going to pursue it the right way. And then speaking with the president and her excitement and her commitment to athletics and to basketball, why not? Think about how awesome this could be. And my wife saw it on my face. And that right there, the excitement of the president about Penn State basketball, the excitement of your director of athletics about Penn State basketball, and for me, growing up my whole life, and it's Penn State, let's do it. Let's do it, and we're not looking back.
Hey, Mike, nice to meet you. Travis Johnson for the Associated Press.
Hey, Travis.
Hi, nice to meet you. Have you had a chance to tour, look at the facilities, some of the resources that you'll have at your fingertips? And if not, what, I guess, could you anticipate making recommendations at a certain point for what you see things, for how you see things maybe being able to be improved?
A lot of cool stuff. I walked around. Don't worry, I'm that guy at 6 in the morning, at 11 o'clock at night that walk around and think of this and think that. And I told the president the other day that I'm a pit bull with manners. I have no problem to say that. You always got to be pushing to get better. Everything around our program, we're going to challenge to get better all the time. I'm going to challenge myself as a basketball coach. I'm going to challenge our staff to learn more. How do we communicate differently and better with our guys? Like all that. And the coaching part and the relationship part is number one. But the next part of it is, what can we do to continue to push the program and our student athletes forward? So there's short-term lists, there's long-term lists, and I'm that guy that I'm not afraid to have a meeting, or I'm not afraid to have that conversation. What if? Why not? So that's just me. That's just me, and there's a way to do that. There's a way to do it. And so as we move along here, we will continue to push forward without a doubt. And we want to give our players the greatest experience they ever could have as a student athlete and playing basketball at Penn State. And you do that by taking care of them in so many different ways, and we're going to push that all the time.
Thank you all very much for coming today, and a very heartfelt welcome to Nittany Nation, to Coach Rhoades and his family, and we'll see you back in the BJC in November. Thanks all.